What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Humble checking in back with you. Really didn't have a set topic today. I was actually looking over some of my videos and was trying to figure out what I want to talk about. But I guess from what I've seen on certain ESPN outlets and certain YouTube channels, I guess they're trying to make still make this Dolphin thing a big deal about how Tua's going to perform, what his numbers are going to look like, how he stacks up against other AFC quarterbacks this season, and if he really can elevate both Hill, Waddle, and Wilson, the trio of receivers that he's got now. So my rebuttal to that is simply this: if you see him in college, he had Jerry Jeudy, he had Henry Ruggs, he had Devontae Smith, and of course he had Jalen Waddle. 4 different type of receivers, 4 different playing styles, 4 different types of game speed. And to each one of them, credit, they all got over 40 plus catches in a season, which is pretty impressive considering the fact that all 4 of them were legitimate 5-star receivers, every single one of them. Yet they all were in the range of 40 to 45 receptions. The season that he threw for 3,900 yards and like 43 touchdowns and 6 picks. So it goes to show you that he's capable of doing it. With Tyreek Hill, I understand that he's a dynamic receiver who's going to acquire a lot of attention. With Jalen Waddle, he busted on the scene last year as a rookie. Got over 106 receptions, over 1,000 yards. I think he had like 8 touchdowns. Cedric Wilson, he took a dip actually in Dallas, but I feel like he can be a great complementary third receiver piece for Tua. He'll get a lot of one-on-one matchups because there's no defense that's actually going to be geared to double him. I think Tyreek and Waddle will acquire much of that attention. But I think that this season, I think Hill can come away with 127 receptions, 14 to 1,500 yards, like 12 touchdowns, something like that. Waddle will probably put up the same amount. He may get 120 receptions, about 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, 10, 11 touchdowns. And Cedric Wilson more than likely probably get 100 receptions, a little bit over 1,000 yards with like 8, 9 touchdowns. So it'll be a productive season for all 3 receivers. I feel like Mike Gronkowski will more than likely get over 1,000 yards. He'll probably have like 90 to 95 receptions, maybe like 6, 7 touchdowns, something like that, from the tight end position. And I said all that to say this: I feel as though a lot of people are already trying to count Tua out. They're really trying to create the narrative, especially with this recent Jimmy Garoppolo situation, that's stating that he's on the trading block to possibly come to Miami. Like I told another guy who I was having this discussion with, Miami doesn't need Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not better than Tua. The man, yeah, he went to, I think it's been to 2 Super Bowls, if I'm not mistaken. But he's not that type of quarterback. He benefits from a system. He benefits from a terrific running game, and players around him being A1. That was like Debo Samuels and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really, quote unquote, bank on him to be able to, like, quote unquote, per se, lead your team down the field or whatever, or lead you in a big game to get you a dub, because he's shown that in the biggest of moments, especially in the postseason, look how he came up. I mean, now against the Rams is a different story. I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole because it's Aaron Donald and company. And I really wouldn't expect many quarterbacks to come out in this situation and say they would have stuck. But they did have a 10-point lead in that game. And he ended up throwing an interception toward the end of the game, which basically sealed the 49ers' fate to lose the game. Now, in that, Jimmy G as Skip put it, he has 76 touchdowns over his career and 38 interceptions. So he has twice as many touchdowns as picks. It's a good thing to know. But in all his time that he spent in San Francisco, he has yet to win a ring for that organization. He's gotten close, but as we know, almost doesn't count, and close is not good enough. So to that, trading Jimmy G to the Dolphins would do nothing, because they'll be in the same spot they were in when he was in San Francisco. And to me, Debo is not on the same level with Tyreek. That's a given. But he is better than Jalen Waddle and Cedric Wilson. So, in all fairness, it would even itself out. But I think that you'll get much more productivity from Tua in both the regular and the postseason than you would out of Jimmy G. Jimmy G was mainly asked not to screw up. Or if he did screw up in the beginning of the game, and toward the end, just bring it home. Don't do anything to hurt our chances of winning, which unfortunately against the Rams he did. Because like I said before, they had a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and they squandered it. So he ended up costing them the game. Now, if you were a fan of his, then that's one thing, but you have to realize, what type of quarterback he is. So, with that being said, I don't think that they should even make a move to get him. If he is, quote-unquote, trying to get traded from San Francisco, of all the spots he doesn't need to land is Miami. They have a quarterback. I mean, this is Tua's chance to, shine. I mean, I've heard it so many different ways, but we all know he has to come with it, and I believe that he will. I don't think for a second he's going to squander this opportunity, because, for one, you only get 3 years in the league. For two, this is his only chance he got to show what he can do. And I think in the first 2 years, he's shown that he can produce if you put the stuff around him. I mean, year one, he had 1,814 yards. Year two, 2,663. So year three, he's going to make that 3,000 to 4,000 yard jump. And he went up in touchdowns. Year one, 11 touchdowns. Year two, 16. Not gauntly numbers for touchdowns, but you see that he's produced. He's making the jumps. Just need him to ease up on the interceptions. But that's my take on it, guys. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I think that Tua is the future of the Dolphins, and he's going to show that this season. As long as he stays healthy, that's the biggest asterisk beside him, is his health. But when he's healthy, you see what kind of show he can put on, especially when he got enough around him, and they put enough around him now. So there won't be no need to make an excuse. Now, people do get hurt. Let's not pretend like football is not a contact sport, because people do get hurt. However, I think he'll be able to overcome a lot of it, because they put enough around him to sustain success, to be productive on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't see Tyreek or Waddle or Wilson really getting hurt. So with that being said, he should be able to put up gauntlet numbers week in and week out, and that will hush a lot of people up. As long as they're winning and he put them numbers, then that's good. But I know that he's a team player, so to him, a win is much better than him throwing for 400 yards, because it is. But it's also nice to see those kind of numbers. I'm not saying 400 yards a game, because that's unrealistic. However, 300 yards a game is not. So he stays around that 290 to 300 a yard mark each week, then people are really gonna start to hush about him and his play. And especially if he throws for 32 to 35 touchdowns, even if he can get to 40 or 45, watch how people be like, oh damn, that's an impressive third year. So Tua is the man. And from moving forward, it'll be his team. And once they get into the postseason, which I think they are capable, I think they'll do it with 12 wins. It's gonna be interesting to see how far they go, with a home game again on the road. But that's just my opinion, guys, on the matter. Peace.